The Unstable SMP is the biggest SMP in Minecraft right now, with every video getting millions of views and some getting tens of millions. But how good actually are they? I mean, we all know Frags was once a top 200 PvPer, but has he fallen off? Would Wimu's electromacing actually work in a fight? I mean, how do we know Parrot is actually smart? While currently all of these are unknown, I do think that I might be able to beat them, and I think some of you guys could beat them too. Well, obviously the Unstable SMP is scripted, and because of this, we never see any of the players lose a fight. But in Wimu's video, 2 Minecraft pros versus 1,000 players, there is one player we actually see put up a fight. Vent, that guy, who isn't part of the main cast. Vent is not holding back, so if we can find out how good Vent is, maybe we can figure out how good our main characters actually are. Thankfully, Vent actually recorded parts of the fight that were not in Wimu's video, so we can see he's quite easily beating Wimu in Wimu's own kit. And since Vent is obviously not tier 1, we can rule out the fact that Wimu is tier 1 in mace, despite what some comments might suggest. In fact, a couple of days ago, Vent actually did an interview where he was asked what tier he might be, and he said low tier 3 at best, meaning Wimu is lower than low tier 3. But to be honest, I think that's being generous, and I believe this so much that I'm going to learn to electromace just to prove how easy it is.
2 hours later.
And yeah, after only about 2 hours, I was able to get to this point in electromacing with fireworks, so it's safe to say that nearly any decent player could be better than Wimu with practice. But what if you don't have elytra, fireworks, or a mace? How could you beat Wimu then? Well, it's simple, just use crystals. Crystal PvP, hard counters maces. All you have to do is stand next to the crystal, and it's nearly impossible for the mace user to hit you. What if you don't have crystals? Just use mushrooms. One of the most common blocks in the game, and one of the easiest resources to obtain. I mean, you could literally get mushrooms in like 5 seconds if you really wanted to. And it's honestly simple. The elytra user can't hit you, because if you place a mushroom and grow it with bone meal, they're just going to run into the mushroom. Well, what if you don't want to carry mushrooms with you everywhere? Just use slow falling or cobwebs. We can see this happen in Unstable, and it's obviously a very simple counter. Well, how can you beat Wimu if you don't have any weird items? Just use a shield and totems. Wimu is decent at stun slamming, but he won't hit it every time, as we can see in videos. So if you use any of these techniques, I think nearly any player could hold their own against Wimu, who in Unstable is considered one of the best players. And now Frags. You see, Frags doesn't rely on a gimmick to win fights, instead he's just a good PvPer. He relies on raw skill. Seeing as he was top 200 at one point, it's highly unlikely you or me, despite being low tier 3 in many game modes, could have a good chance to beat him in a standard duel. But there is one super easy way to beat him. Just use traps. A simple trap like this one with a funnel at the bottom where you could crit him out would work great. Now obviously we can't just expect to have traps everywhere, so if Frags jumps us in the wild, then what do? Well, just have a shulker of weakness potions and turtle master potions. Throw the turtle master on yourself, throw the weakness at him, and use slowness on him too if you want bonus points. Just slowly drain his resources, break his armor, and drag out the fight as long as you can. You're far more likely to win, because he has permanent weakness, meaning he does no damage to your armor and barely any damage to you, and you have pretty much infinite health with Turtle Master. However, you can't really expect to carry shulkers of potions everywhere, so instead just employ what Wimu does, just use a mace. Obviously, Flame does seem to carry items to counter maces, but if you alternate between mace, potions, and trapping, and just being decent at PvP, you could still quite easily beat Flame in my opinion. However, running is also just always an option. Parrot is considered one of Minecraft's smartest players, and is the smartest player on Unstable, but he's not very good at PvP. I'd put him slightly above average, and he's actually not good at very much in the game aside from sniffing out traps. But he's quite good at escaping these traps, and has escaped many prisons that were deemed impossible to escape. And just like his title sort of implies, he's pretty smart, meaning he'll probably be prepared for just about anything. So traps are sort of out of the question. And beating him in an actual fight will probably not be very difficult, seems unlikely, because he will probably have an escape plan or some way to get away. Along with this, we have to consider that even though Parrot isn't very good at PvP, he's almost always with Theo, who is actually one of the best PvPers in the game. So not only do we have to outsmart one of the smartest players, we also have to out PvP one of the best PvPers in the game. It seems nearly impossible. And to be honest, I've spent quite a lot of time thinking about this and analyzing their gameplay. And Parrot has one glaring weakness. Parrot will blindly take any advice he's given. In I Got Hunted by Minecraft's bounty hunters, Parrot sees a chest containing pearls and invisibility, and a sign stating to run. Obviously, he pops the invis and takes off all his gear to hide from Bat. However, we can use this to our advantage. If we can find where Parrot is and leave some stupid ominous message, it seems likely that he'll just do whatever it says. And this video is actually a great example. We can make him go invisible and then just kill him super easily just like that with 2 hits. However, this is a very niche scenario, and we can't expect to be able to execute this at every time. Parrot is a great runner, a really good runner, but when you're running, you aren't always thinking straight. The plan is simple: chase Parrot into a trap. But I thought you said he's very good at escaping traps. Well, that is true. However, if we can just separate him from Theo for a little bit, it makes it very easy to kill him. However, we still have to deal with Theo. Assuming Theo isn't with Parrot at all, this is super easy. But if he is with Parrot, this changes everything. We somehow have to trap both of them at the same time, or we have to trap Parrot and stall Theo long enough to kill Parrot. I think it's highly unlikely we could trap both Parrot and Theo at the same time, so we have to go with the second option. So there you go, now you know how to beat all of Unstable SMP's members.
You forgot spoke.
Who? Anyways, I'm hosting a UHC event, and if you want to join, the link to apply is at the top of the description, and it's open to anyone. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see me do a video about smoke or go more in depth on the other members, drop a like and comment.